Bonjour! Bonjour!
No. Time for bladder check.
Check.
So, it's a show?
It's a lifestyle.
It's a religion.
My emotions! My emotions!
I'm still French.
Ouais, c'est pas faux.
I'm a woman, Mary. I can be as contrary as I choose.
Non, moi je crois qu'il faut que vous arrêtiez d'essayer de dire des trucs.
Hello, hi, I'm Laura. I'm gonna watch Andor, I don't know how to pronounce it, Season 1, Episode 1. Yes, I decided to react to this show. You know it, I told you that on Twitter, I think. I didn't know if I would react to this show or not, to this Star Wars show, because even if I reacted to The Mandalorian, even if I reacted to Obi-Wan Kenobi, you know also that I reacted to the first season of the Book of Boba Fett and that it truly disappointed me because I had the impression that they didn't know really what to do with this character, that they didn't know where to go with him, what to create around him. And the fact that at the end of the season, when you are thinking about the things that you truly loved into the first season, it's the episodes in which Boba Fett was not present and in fact where the Mandalorian was present. And you know, really for me, I'm seeing it each time now, the Book of Boba Fett, that season 1, it's a good one season show, you know. If it's a one shot and we don't have any season 2, it's okay because it's a good spin-off of one season to be a break, to be something between seasons of The Mandalorian. But for itself, for himself, Boba Fett, I don't see the point of continuing it for a season 2. Like, it's gonna be really difficult for them, in my opinion, to create a season 2 around this character that they didn't build enough during the season 1. That was, you know, a good way to say, okay, Boba Fett is gonna disappear from The Mandalorian, but see, his life, it's gonna be in that. It was a good way to introduce the new season of The Mandalorian, but for himself, for itself, I don't see the point of the season 2 of the Book of Boba Fett, and I really had the impression that the writers didn't know what to do with his character. They knew that the fans, the viewers, they would be glad to have something, a show around him, but they did it wrong, in my opinion. So that's why, you know, when they said that they would make so many shows around the Star Wars universe, I was like, Obi-Wan Kenobi, for sure I'm gonna watch it because I know also for sure that they're gonna do something amazing around it because it's Obi-Wan, so they can't do anything but amazing things. And I was right, that was really a good show. But this one, Andor, I had some doubts about it because I was like, if it's the same than the Book of Boba Fett, like, I'm tired in advance about it. So I was like, clearly I prefer to wait for some episodes to be out, to read some reviews about this show without any spoilers, to see if people, fans and, you know, ultra fans, like regular fans, they appreciate it or not, and then I will decide to react to this show or not. The 3 first episodes were out and clearly, guys, you were so impressed by these 3 episodes and by the mood of it. That was really something which came out a lot, that the mood of it was darker, was really deeper than the other ones, you know, the other shows of the franchise. That it was really, yes, deeper, darker, that it began, you know, to... I was like, okay, maybe it deserves for me to watch it and stuff like that. And some of you guys who are watching regularly my channel came to me and really told me, girl, you have to react to it, trust us, you're not gonna be disappointed by it. So I was already curious about it, but if you guys, you are telling me that for sure I'm gonna like it, I think that now you know a little my taste, you know, and you know also what I'm expecting when I'm watching a show, to have good stories, to have good characters which can be developed, to have good messages, you know, good things to analyze, to think about, to make theories about also. So that's it, I'm right there today to watch the 3 first episodes of Andor. I don't know how I'm gonna post them, these 3 episodes. For sure I'm gonna be right on time for the episode 5, but I don't know if I'm gonna be right on time for the episode 4. No matter what, you know, at some point I'm gonna catch up with the show. And that's it! I decided to react to the season 1 of Andor. Before beginning, the fair warning, like usually, I don't consider myself as an ultra fan. I don't know everything about the Star Wars franchise. I watched all of the movies, I watched the Book of Boba Fett, The Mandalorian and Obi-Wan Kenobi. I didn't watch the Clone Wars, still not. I'm gonna watch it, but clearly I didn't find the time to watch it on my own. Really, I consider myself as a regular fan who knows stuff about this universe, about these characters, about the chronology and all, but I can make mistakes, and maybe some of the references, the little ones that ultra fans they're gonna see, I'm not gonna see it. Again, that's a fair warning, because each time on the comments I have some ultra fans who are considering me stupid and all because I didn't see stuff just like that, or because I didn't connect the dots, you know, quick enough for them. Guys, regular fan, and I'm more there, you know, to discover a new show, to judge it for what it is, for a show, to judge the stories, the character, to judge how it's written, how it's done, how it's filmed and all, more than to be impressed by it only because it's a Star Wars product. Okay? Okay. About this show, I know about it what I told you, the fact that it's deeper, it's darker than the other shows of the franchise. I know for the chronology where we are, I know the main character who we're gonna follow, and that's all. Clearly, I'm beginning this show blank page, like I'm just gonna discover it with you guys right now. I'm gonna stop this intro, let's go for this episode 1 of Andor. Like always, if you want, you have my Patreon on which you can have these episodes earlier. I think that it's gonna be 1 day earlier for Andor. I think that I'm gonna function like that, and with an extended or full reaction part. I'm putting the full reaction part for big episodes, and extended reaction part, it's still interesting because it's longer ones. It's the best way to support me also, and just to be honest with you, like, clearly during this month of September, I had some issues, personal issues. For those of you who are already following me since a long time, you know it, like I had my apartment which was flooded and I had other issues to deal with. So if you want to support me, if you were thinking about it just a little, that's a good month. Even if I'm saying it each time, it's just for 1 month, it's already appreciated. And if not, don't worry, it's already great to be there on YouTube, to support me by liking, subscribing, commenting, that kind of stuff. It's already great, it's already appreciated. I'm a little reactor, so just that, you know, it's a way to support me also, and it's cool. I'm not gonna blame you, you know, to not go on my Patreon. You do as you want. I'm creating advantages for you to go on my Patreon, to have things more than on YouTube, but if I have some financial issues, I can understand clearly people who have also financial issues. Believe me, more than you think. Stop. Let's go for this episode 1. And yes, for the new people on my channel, my intros and my reviews are that long each time. That's the opening credit. It's really an epic one, you know, the music like that, like prepare yourself to see something big, like becoming bigger and bigger. With the place, with the environment and all, we know that we're into the Star Wars universe. How it's filmed, it's a little different. It's reminding me The Expanse.
We were at first.
We didn't like it, you just got it.
Garni will help you.
I don't want Garni.
Behave.
Uh-huh.
My apologies.
It's not there for that.
Why?
It's a company town.
Oh, they're just sentry guards. Looking for something special tonight.
See the work on the lights, on the colors?
Something was again. We can hurry away.
Canary.
And dark sci-fi movies.
There was a girl from Canary, but she left several months ago. What are you? Seriously. Boyfriend, husband?
Detective?
I'm looking for my sister.
People come and go. You should leave.
What was her name?
You don't know the name of your sister? I get maybe why people judged it darker, at least for the pictures. I'm waiting to see if it's gonna be darker also with the story.
There you go. I've got 300 credits in my code book. What are the chances on that? That is almost exactly what it costs to cover a fine.
I'm sorry, I'm really focused on how it's written, you know, and how it's filmed. They are taking the time also to create scenes. It's long scenes, long lines, discussions, like... Normally, you know, Star Wars stuff, the rhythm is different. Are you gonna kill them?
Tell me what to do! Let's hear it, boss! Get up! Get him up! Get him up!
No music. It's making it more rough.
She's not breathing.
I said it.
Take it!
You didn't want to kill him. And now? You have to kill him also. He knows it.
We have a misunderstanding. Oh, it's together.
No music.
He tried to grab you and he fell and he hit his head. We're going together. I'll tell you what happened.
You didn't want to do it, you didn't plan that. It says a lot, you know, about his character already. His principles, his mission. If I have to do stuff, I'm gonna do them.
Cassian. Kassa. Kassa.
Your sister? You were living really with the nature and all. You know, it's a big difference with how we live right now. Ah, it's already more a Star Wars music. It's logical, he's walking into that place.
Tired. I went home, cleaned up a bit and then I fell asleep.
No,
Basil?
right for me, but I wasn't there. We decided we were thirsty and you wanted to go to Cabo's, but I said that was no good because there's too many people there, I owe money.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nanny bye.
You insulted my choice of beverage. As host and provider, I was offended by this. You were gone when I woke up. You've come in now to apologise.
You're a good friend. Brasso, not basso, brasso.
When it's done, pull your boots on, get to work. You look like a wreck.
I knew I could count on you.
I'm not lending you any money.
I knew that too.
There's no suspect at this point.
We have some excellent leads.
A human with dark features asking about a Canary girl who might have been working in the establishment. This case appears to bear all the hallmarks of what I like to describe as regrettable misadventure.
Sir.
You don't want him to search for who did it?
They're in a brothel, which we're not supposed to have, the expensive one, which they shouldn't be able to afford, a drinking river, which we're not supposed to allow. Clearly harassed a human with dark features and chose the wrong person to annoy.
Close to the truth.
They died rushing to aid someone in distress. Nothing too heroic, we don't need a parade. They died being helpful.
Are you gonna accept that?
Second, Deputy Inspector, are you absorbing my meaning here?
it's not going well with his principles. He seems to have, you know, a moral compass like that.
What?
Your friend.
What friend?
The one who buys your secret. How fast now, Richard?
What have you done?
Your friend will want this piece. He'll come for this. You said he wanted to meet me.
So what is it?
I got an untraceable MS9 Starbuck unit. The active crystals and Imperial seal still intact. You wanna call your guy or not?
$1,000, that's worth it.
Yeah. Enough. We'll get out of here. Lay low till things cool off. I need to relocate for a while. I need every credit I can put my hands on.
Are we betting on the Wobani run tomorrow?
Oh, that accent you?
There's a Wobani run coming.
You'll know when I'm ready.
That was an excuse to keep an eye on her.
What?
He felt it also.
He'd do anything for me.
No. That wasn't my question. This, you said he wanted to meet me. I really think this.
Okay, at some point something happened between the two of you. Or should have happened. It's almost only kids. No, truly, it's only kids. Again, where are the adults? Going to well? You wanted to protect him. Are you Brasso? You know, the orange guy?
Everything okay, sir?
Fine.
Oh, you're a very stressed person.
Find it. Whatever it is, the more I want left, the more I want. You'd have to filter the entire night. Well, it's too much for you, let me know. Sure, somebody wants the chair.
I haven't seen you lately.
Some of us were.
So we can move.
Benji must check filter.
To call your guy.
Ferrex.
Yes, sir. We're working it.
Canary human nails on Ferrex.
I'm afraid that's a blank, sir.
What?
But we have got an Imperial sensor.
It's not a lot like Canary, sir. It's fairly obscure.
That should make it easier. We'll have to put the word out.
From Ferrex.
You're not under our jurisdiction.
Technically.
We're simply asking for information.
Have you ever been there?
What difference does that make? It's the murder of 2 Primor employees! Put out a bullet. Let's go!
I'm not gonna be like, okay, I hate him, he seems to be, you know, not nice with his employees and stuff like that, and he's doing something which could be an issue for Cassian. He's doing his job and he's good at it. Morally, I don't have the impression that he did something wrong, so I'm not gonna be that quick to judge him.
Why are you swapping chipmunks? You're gonna get us both in trouble.
I didn't like the way it was running last night.
So you did me a favor.
Even better than you found it.
You borrowed that shit?
Tomorrow.
I wouldn't dig that if I was here. Close this out. Don't come back.
We'll be right there.
Okay, you're gonna blame yourself because something is gonna happen. I'm sorry, I was a little surprised that this episode would end right there, but if I consider that the three first episodes were released at once, I think that in fact the 3 first episodes might work together and maybe we have the full flashback, you know, in these 3 episodes. So I'm surprised, but at the same time I can imagine the logic behind it. Okay, that was the first episode, which was really interesting for how it was done, like truly for how it was done, how it was filmed, how it was presented. For sure the pictures, the lights, all of that, it's darker, but you know, just that, using darker lights and darker colors, it can be just a tool that you're using, but if you don't know how to use it, and if your story at the same time it's still the same, like when I'm saying it's still the same, it's a story like The Mandalorian or like Obi-Wan Kenobi that you're putting with dark lights, dark colors, it's only a tool and it's not following a real purpose. Do you understand what I mean? Right there, it's following a real purpose because it's going also with the movements of the camera, it's going also with the scenes, how long they are lasting, each one of them. It's going also with the music and also the lack of music during plenty of scenes of that first episode. So all of that, all of these tools together, in fact, they are following a purpose of making this show darker for sure. I can understand why everyone thought that, but for me it's not just darker, it's more the fact that they wanted to make it realistic. I know we're talking about Star Wars, it's a story into the Star Wars franchise, we have aliens, you know, we have stuff like that, we have ships and all. You're gonna be like, oh girl, that's not realistic, but go with you know, my thoughts right there. It's more realistic because of the fact that it's more rough, it's more brutal. I'm gonna go with the story, with the characters who are like that, but already how it's filmed, how it's done, it's more rough, it's more brutal, it's more realistic. The scenes that are lasting longer, like into life, a discussion, it's lasting longer, like when Cassian decided to fight with these guys, for sure, in real life, you're not like just 1-2 lines, you're gonna answer, you know, a catchy phrase and then you're gonna fight with the person. No, it's gonna last for a longer time in real life. So also into this show, if you're picturing, you know, if you're trying to imagine a situation like that into another Star Wars movie or show, you can imagine that we're gonna have that 2-3 lines that they're gonna exchange, a catchy phrase to make it funny, and then he's gonna fight, he's gonna prove that he's a good fighter. The scenes are lasting longer, for sure the pictures and the colors, I'm not gonna come back to that. The music is really important, because of the fact that it's not that important. Let me explain myself. Into Star Wars shows and movies, they are using a lot music, you know, to make situations epic, to create an atmosphere, things like that. I'm talking about the epic musics during the fights and all, but also about the environment, sounds, musics, which are there, you know, during all of the scenes. Sometimes you are not even noticing them, but they are right there because they are creating sometimes a vibration, sometimes they are implying that we are living a funny moment, you know, sometimes they are implying that it's an emotional moment. There are really environment, sounds, musics which are there to guide your emotions. The fact that I think during more than 70% of this first episode we don't have musics and we are only with the characters living these longer scenes, again, it's making the show, the situation more realistic. In real life, we don't have musics like that, environment sounds to guide our emotions, to guide the story. Yes, for me, how it's done, how it's filmed, how it's created, it's really that, you know, how it's created. It's for sure darker, but it's more realistic. It's going also with the costumes, I said it at the end, like they have also costumes which are more realistic also, which are not so, you know, complex and stuff like that, almost like in real life. And for sure it's going with the story and the characters that they are presenting, like little by little. Again, in other shows, other movies, when you have a new character who is introduced, almost at, you know, the second line, we already know his or her name, where that person is coming from, what does he want, what does she want, something like that. Right there, during some moments, you know, for example with Biggs, it took more than 2 minutes to have her name. Me, I didn't know her name, so really each time I was like, I don't know her name, do I have to guess it? Maybe she's not gonna have a name, she's not that important. You know, something like that, and it took time to introduce her name. Like in real life, when you're not saying your name each time that you're beginning a conversation. So the characters, yes, they are also more realistic because of that. I mean, their conversations seem more realistic and less like a movie, like a show. The main character, with that first scene, you know, not the first scene, more the second scene with the two guards that is killing, it's presenting so much who he is and his intentions and stuff like that. We understood just before that he's searching for someone. I still don't know if he's really searching for his sister, but with the flashback now, yes, I think that he's searching for his sister. But the situation with the two guards introduced well his character, because we know that he's a good fighter. We know that he didn't want to kill this guy at first. He was sorry that he killed truly that guy. He knew that he had to kill the other one to not be discovered. He did it. You know, he didn't hesitate a lot. He just did it because it was what he had to do. So it says a lot about who he is. The fact that he's not afraid to fight, he's not afraid to kill people, he's not afraid to do things which are, you know, supposed to be done to protect himself, to do his mission, to go with his plans. Like, it's saying a lot about him. And during the rest of the episode, he's not thinking about the fact that he killed two people, he's thinking about the fact that he has to hide it, to cover his lies. He's only focused on that. You know, he's not preoccupied about the fact that he just killed two guys, even if he didn't plan to do it. For me, it's not the first time that he did it. Also, you know, in fact, the scene was introducing that because to take that decision, I was gonna say so easily, it's not the case, but so quickly, it means that for him it's not the first time. So really, that scene to introduce him was really cool. So we have a lot of new characters. We have Cassian for sure. I just said what I said about him, his intentions and all. So he's searching for his sister. We can imagine with the flashback, with these other kids, really no adults on Canary, at least on that group. With the other kids, they want to see that ship, you know, which came on their planet, leaving behind the youngest ones. Something happened to them, something happened to his sister, maybe she was kidnapped and he's blaming himself, he's searching for her because of that, something like that. Maybe he's blaming himself because he was too curious, because he followed the other group. We saw that moment of doubt, is he gonna go or not? So maybe, you know, that's still a question into his mind. I'm really imagining something like that, you know, that he can feel guilty about it. We have Brasso. I think that Brasso was the other kid with him on Canary. The fact that they're so close, they seem so close, like he lied for you, he accepted just like that to lie for you and for something that big. It shows how close they are, how strong their friendship is. So for me, they know each other for a long time. Maybe they were on Canary. You know, I don't know his hair and stuff like that. I imagine that maybe he was that guy on the planet. Brasso, Bix, something happened between these two, or something should have happened between these two. Timmy, who is with her now. Nerchi and Vetch, two people to who you should give money back. Pelga or Plega, the one to who he borrowed that ship. B, the droid. I don't have the name of that lieutenant who is searching for information, who really wants to discover what happened to these two guards who died. I said it during the episode, I'm not gonna blame the guy. He's doing his job, he has his moral compass, he can't accept to just ignore that two people were just killed and no one is gonna search for what happened. So he's searching for it on his own. Okay, he's talking bad to these employees, but at the same time, he's, you know, their superior, they're not doing what he ordered them, he's just telling them to do their jobs. For now, I'm not gonna be so quick to blame him, to judge him that rough. You know, I'm not gonna picture him as the villain of the show, not just like that. He seems to be like a really stressed person who has really a moral compass like that, in opposition of the main character Cassian. With this first scene and the rest of the scenes, we understood that his moral compass, it's a little like that, like he's doing bad businesses, he was okay to kill people, like he didn't think about it twice, and also they are already put, you know, like really in opposition of each other, they are really not functioning the same. And I wanted to talk about another thing, another parallel that I saw. Can't remember. Oh, I can't remember. Cassian, you know, all of these people around him, they seem to help him, to appreciate him, but he has issues, you know, businesses with all of them which are unresolved. You know, even Brasso, apparently, he had money things with him. With Biggs, he has also businesses, with the two other ones also. Clearly, you know, Cassian for sure is also a darker character for what he did, for the story, the background that he seems to have. But he seems also so dark into this show, into this universe, into this franchise, because we are used now to have into shows The Mandalorian, Obi-Wan Kenobi and Boba Fett, who had such a moral compass also, who had such values, principles to follow. Like really for them it's almost a religion, a faith to do things right and stuff like that. So to have a character like Cassian in opposition of it, it's really a change also for the viewers. So that's why maybe it seems even darker than the rest of the characters that we're used to have into that franchise. He's not the perfect hero, you know, for a show. On the contrary. This actor is really good. Already, I mean, in other situations, other movies and stuff, I already thought so, and right there, he seems to have things to offer with that character, with Cassian. That's great. Okay, I'm gonna stop this first episode right now. I'm gonna watch 2 more episodes today. For you, it's gonna be on another day, on another video. Remember that on my Patreon we have 1 episode of advance, if you can be interested by that, for these 3 first episodes, and then for the next ones it's gonna be 1 day of advance each time that you're gonna have on Patreon, and with an extended reaction part. I reacted a lot during this first episode, so I think that it's gonna be longer. I don't think that I'm gonna put the full one, but I can already imagine that for next episodes, like for the last ones of this season 1 or stuff like that, I'm surely gonna put the full ones. Clearly, if I'm reacting that much. Stop. It's all for you for today, and it's all for me for now, so bye for now. Bye.
Wait a minute, Doc. Are you telling me that you built a time machine? Hey.